Just maybe one question, just to turn on Trans Mountain. I know that we spoke with my colleague Cormac in Ottawa. He talked about try to go, just ignore Premier Horgan essentially as we move forward with this. There's been so much. We should have an emergency thing in the legislature, and then the Senate comes up with their own solution. I mean, from a municipal perspective here, is there anything that the city can put forward, or any type of anything more from just a purely municipal perspective? Or
well, there's nothing the city can do, because obviously part of the problem here is that cities in different places have tried to assert authority and jurisdiction where they have none, and that's been made pretty clear. But my point is, even Premier Horgan has said, hey, what's the big deal? I'm just talking about consultation. He obviously is trying to walk back what he did. But if that's what he says, take him at his word. He's got no power. He's got no ability to stop this thing. Stop being distracted by him. Just keep going and ignore him. And I think that's probably a good way to go. So we had one of our semi-annual meetings of the Big City Mayor's Caucus in Ottawa. I flew directly back from Pyeongchang to Ottawa, and it was good. We had the opportunity to engage with a number of federal cabinet ministers on issues around infrastructure, around housing, around cannabis, and around the opioid crisis. And so I appreciated them giving us all that time. There always remain open questions. On infrastructure, we really have to figure out the process by which the money is going to flow. You've heard me say that many times. That hasn't really changed. Same thing on housing and on poverty reduction nationally. I did think it was interesting, though, that almost everyone talks about the opioid crisis. And Minister Morneau, in particular, said, if I could write a big check to solve this, that's something I would do. And so my message is, you can write a big check. And as we look at the 4 areas we've got to deal with, which are prevention, enforcement, treatment, and harm reduction, the area where a big check would actually be extremely useful is in treatment, in opening more treatment beds immediately. Because one thing we know about people who are addicted is the moment at which you find the courage to change yourself, the moment at which you decide you want to be better, is the moment that the treatment has to be available. If you decide, I'm ready to be better, and we say, okay, come back in 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years for a treatment bed, that's just not effective. And so I think that we've done a great job on harm reduction. We're doing a better job on enforcement. We can always do better on prevention, but right now I'd like to see more of a focus on treatment.
That seems more provincial. Is there anything the city can do on that?
Our job is to make sure that we have zoning available, make sure that we cut the red tape to allow treatment facilities to open once the funding is available. And in fact, when we're in public hearing today, we often hear arguments against treatment facilities in neighborhoods. In fact, there's one coming up where they are specifically asking that addiction services be removed from a big long list of things that are possible in this area, and I'll be likely, depending on the public hearing, I'll be voting against that, just to make a point, saying our knee-jerk reaction should not be to remove addiction treatment when we have a situation where we need it desperately.
Was there much discussion about consumption? Just because the Calgary one the numbers seem to have been high at the supervised site. Was there much discussion about?
Remarkably low. It's quite surprising to me that an issue that dominated public discourse for so long with the previous federal government has just become accepted now, because I think that we've come to a community consensus that saving lives is important, and we have to continue to save people's lives. Thank you.